Hey there everyone, this is Tom from MonTac here, and we're going to be doing the weekly MonTac Roundup for the week ending April 11th. So this week was chock-a-block with matches. We had Shadow Galaxy Wolf taking on Apocalyptic. We had Misfire taking on Apocalyptic. Now, Apocalyptic actually had to sub in for that match. Shadow was unable to make it for that one. We had World vs Tailsuite, and we had Squisher vs Crowler, and that wasn't it. We also had Charging Badger taking on SM Robo. So on the weekly MonTac Roundup, we'll be talking about all the matches that occurred, the outcomes, and where the players will be going from there. So let's start us off with Shadow Galaxy Wolf taking on Apocalyptic. So this was actually the first mirror match of the week, with Terosian Mistress decks both being used against each other. So they're both relatively good at stalling. So as you can imagine, it was a long drawn-out match, and they both used Vixen. Interestingly, Shadow Galaxy Wolf, I believe, was actually able to use her Impervious Gemini on Apocalyptic's Vixen, but was unable to kill the Vixen before time ran out. It was a long drawn-out match, and it ended up being a tie. Apocalyptic, after this match, went up to 3 points. Now, after he was able to sub in, Apocalyptic went on to take on the 4th-ranked Misfire. Now, this was a very interesting match, with Apocalyptic using Terosian Mistress and Misfire using the Pure Angel deck, focusing on Beowulf. So the really interesting thing about this is that the winner of this match is going to get and got the number 3 spot on the ladder. The match ended before the timer went off, with Misfire getting the win using a Beowulf with 4 attacks and an Apex Zachariah coming in. I think it was about 10 attacks on that one. Just absolutely blitzing Apocalyptic within the final seconds. It was actually later discovered that Apocalyptic didn't even have any Medicine Angel Elizabeth in his deck, and he actually didn't have any cards to bring out his Master Mistress of the Stars Vixen either. It was just definitely a deck building error, but definitely interesting to see that he lasted the whole 30 minutes and he didn't even have any health point gain at all, so definitely real props to him. Apocalyptic went down to about 8th position after that, and Misfire went to 3rd. World took on Tailsuite, so World's our youngest player, and it was a long drawn-out match again, but the interesting thing was it was Angel Terosian taking on Sunwalker Mistress. So this was very exciting because Tailsuite was able to get off an Impervious Gemini specialty on World, which made World discard his entire hand, leaving him wide open. It was quite back and forth until that moment, and it came down to the last few seconds, and World just couldn't get enough health points. So with this, World will leave the top 8, but Tailsuite moves up to the rank 4 position. Definitely very exciting for him. Then we went on to Squishy versus Crowler. This is, one word to describe this match, was hectic. Squishy was off his head, going nuts after every single play. At one point, I swear he rage quitted, but he brought together and was able to bring it all the way back and save himself, and they actually ended up tying again in that match. Definitely an insanely tough one there. Due to the fact they actually got a 1 point, they're both going to make top 8 this week. Squish is going to be number 7, and Crowler is going to be number 6. It was also a mirror match between 2 Sunwalker Mistress decks, so a lot of Impervious Geminis were possibly able to be used, and definitely a very tricky match happening there. Now we get to the biggest match of the week. Charging Badger taking on Robo. This match is the biggest match to have occurred this month, with Robo at rank 3 taking on Charging Badger rank 2. Badger using Sky Soldier Angel, and Robo using a Pure Angel deck with a couple bandits slapped in. Now this match was incredibly close, and definitely very divisive. Both players putting everything they've got into it. And unfortunately, Badger left himself wide open. He played the card Star Hand, activated Star Hand again, thinking he could save his Wolfman, who had been targeted by an Impervious Gemini. And unfortunately, while he could defend the Wolfman with tacticals, nothing can stop the Wolfman from perishing due to the Operator's specialty. After that activated, Badger had to discard 11 cards, which meant a third of his deck was gone instantly. But even after that, Badger was able to rally up and survive into extra time. He did end up losing, unfortunately, to Beowulf, that continually came back over and over and over again. But the fact that he even was able to survive that long against a top tier deck, against a top tier opponent, is quite impressive. So Charging Badger will go down to number 5. And Robo goes to number 2. Robo will now be taking on Rich Potato next weekend for the title. And because it's a title match, it will be best of 3. Very interesting considering the semi-final between Potato and Robo in the original tournament was actually the closest match seen so far. So this now being best of 3 gives Robo that chance at redemption. But with all these matches done, you might be wondering who and how and where you guys placed. The placings will be read from 1st place to 14th place for this week. In 1st place, we have Rich Potato on 6 points. In 2nd place, SM Robo at 6 points. In 3rd place, Misfire, 4 points. In 4th place, Tail Sweet, 4 points. In 5th place, Charging Badger at 3 points. 6th place, Crowler at 2 points. 7th place, Squishy on 2 points. And 8th place, we have Apocalyptic on 2 points. Now we go outside the top 8 with 9th place, Shadow on 2 points. 10th place, Shadow Galaxy Wolf on 1 point. World at 11th place is now 1 point. 12th place, we have Doozy at -1. 13th, we have Albin on -1. And finally, at the 14th spot, we have Fury Card Battle Zone on -2. Now, with all these interesting standings, we have a lot of potential matches that could be occurring. We've actually got 2 Romanians that have broken into the top 8 and starting to take over. While Apocalyptic did lose his match, he lost his match to a potential contender for the title in the upcoming weeks. SM Robo vs Rich Potato is going to be an absolute amazing match to watch. I would not miss it if possible. Tail Sweet also has got a very interesting match. He will probably be taking on Misfire. So there are definitely going to be a lot of interesting matches that are coming into the next weekend. So that is the weekly MonTac Roundup. We'll be doing this every week, like I said before, and really keen to see you guys for the next one. This has been Tom. Have a good one.